Hey Brady, Coach Kilcrease here. First off, I just want to thank you for coming out to camp. I know I had a really good time working with you. Hope you had as much fun as we did and was able to learn some things from us and apply it to the way you play the game. This is going to be your video analysis. So the first thing I like to look at is I like to make sure we've got a good foundation, okay? Make sure we've got a good base, athletic stance, good bend in our knees, okay? One red flag here is that your hands are already pushed back and so that barrel's already behind your head, okay? Now, as long as it doesn't get further behind your head and as long as it corrects itself when you load and those hands move to here, with that barrel being right there, as long as the barrel ends up in this position here, it's going to be okay. Alright, but when we load, if the hands move any further back, that barrel is going to be, the end of the bat is going to be pointing towards the pitcher, which is going to make the path to the ball extremely long. Okay, so that's just one thing that kind of stands off the page to me right here at this point. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at your load, okay? Now when we load, okay, I want to make sure that all of our weight stays back here. Like I mentioned earlier, okay, we want the hands to move back this way and have that barrel end up in here, okay? We never want to see it behind our head. Alright? Now with this front leg, as you take your stride, okay, first we want to make sure that when we pick this foot up and put it down, like I said earlier, our weight stays here, okay? But what we don't want to do is we don't just want to move our foot, okay? Because what's going to happen is if you just open this foot up, now we've lost ground, okay? Now we have a negative load, okay? We want to make sure that that foot's gaining ground, but that our weight's staying back. That way we're able to drive down through the ball. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play your load forward. Okay. I just want to check it out and make sure we got some things going on that I want to see. Okay. So you don't really load much. Okay. That's something I think you should incorporate. Because hitting is about a rhythm, okay? And if you're standing here stiff, and then you just jump right into a swing, okay? There's not much rhythm to it. And by rhythm I don't mean let's wiggle our hands up and down here, okay? Rhythm just means make the weight shifts backwards here. This foot picks up and sets down, and our hands just kind of float along back here, okay? And that's going to put our hands in a position here where we can fire at the ball, okay? Now you're going to be hitting like so far down on top of the ball, you're going to be driving everything into the ground. Okay, because there's no load, so it's just like all hands hitting it. Alright, so now I'm going to get you to your firing position. Okay, so from right here, this is the position we want to be to hit the ball. That's the path we want to take to the ball. And sometimes we see this one, okay, and this is the one, I don't think I'm going to see it with you as much. Because you have a steep swing. Okay, yours may be a little too steep. You may be chopping the ball in half. Okay, so what happens here is the hands will drop, and then that barrel will float along this line here, and you'll be swinging up at the ball. But you with no load, now you're just hands are here, and then boom, I go straight down to the ball. So now I'm like chopping at it, like I'm chopping wood. Okay, so your barrel stays flat through the zone. But you see how you're hitting on top of the ball and just kind of rolling over the top of it? Okay? We want to be driving through that ball. So when we hit that ball at this angle here, that we are driving through that ball here, that's going to create backspin on the ball and ultimately is going to cause lift. Okay? But it's going to be at a path like this. Alright? Now in this position here, we've got a good L on our backside. Okay? What power we have built up is being used right here, okay? This is called firing your backside, riding your backside. Now this would be better if you had a more defined load in your swing. That L would be more defined, okay? And this leg would be stiffer than it already is, and your hands would be right here hitting the ball instead of out front. See, now my barrel's behind the ball. Your barrel's hitting the ball like this, as opposed to that barrel hitting the ball here. Okay, now we want to hit that ball out front. We don't want our hands to be out in front of the ball. Okay, now right here we got our right palm up and our left palm pointing down. It's all good, but it should be a half a clip back. Okay, so it should be like right in here with your hands. Okay, Now your follow through is good, except for the fact we have to keep two hands on the bat at all times. All right. So just the main thing I want you to work on is I want you to incorporate a load into your swing. Okay. I want to see some rhythm in the swing. Hopefully in the next camp I see you at, I'll see a load in that swing, and then we can go from there on it. Okay. Brady's Coach Kilcrease again. Thanks so much for coming to camp. Look forward to seeing you again. Thanks.